On this week's show, the Conference USA football schedule is out. We'll show you who Liberty is set to face. Plus, it's Yawk Talk, baby. Analyst Joe Yawk joins us in studio to break down the schedule.
And you'll meet the Prestons and learn what life is like as married student athletes. This is Flame Central.
You've waited all week for this. Welcome to Flame Central, your home for Liberty Athletics. I'm Matt Warner, she's Emily Austin, and we have a cast of characters joining us in just a bit.
You can say that again. We have huge conference basketball games to get to and a love story made on the mountain. Wow. But first, we're starting with football in January. Richie McKay might have something to say about this, so it better be good, Matt.
Yeah, no, trust me, it is. You may know Liberty Football will join Conference USA next season, and we now know what the Flames' schedule for that inaugural season will look like. Show us that beautiful graphic.
Let's see it.
How about it? LU will start the season with back-to-back home games against Bowling Green and New Mexico State. After hitting the road to play Buffalo, the Flames then begin a stretch of 5 straight midweek games. In fact, all of Conference USA will be doing that. Once we get back to playing on Saturdays, Liberty ends its schedule with 3 of its last 4 games at home. And following the season finale against UTEP, hopefully, there's a Conference USA championship game to play. With more on the Flames 2023 slate, Emily is standing by with our guy, Joe Yawk.
Matt, you might start to get a little jealous. Joe, we did the podcast together this week. Look at this chemistry. We're matching on set today. I have a feeling I'm getting the other end of that friendship bracelet by the end of this segment.
It's all yours, Matt.
It's Yawk Talk, baby. We got Joe Yawk in studio. So great to have you.
Thank you for having me.
We just saw the 2023 CUSA football schedule. What is your overall reaction on these first 2 games? Let's start with those.
Yeah, Jamie Chadwell, introduction. You know, I mean, you got Bowling Green that comes in. You know, Jamie Chadwell running straight through the smoke machine. The fans are fired up. He's got the visor on. There's no way you're losing that game.
No way.
No way. Then you come back and Diego Pavia brings it back from New Mexico State back to Williams Stadium. He's signing autographs last year after 6 touchdown passes. I think the boys are going to remember that one.
There's going to be a little bit of revenge.
The revenge
factor
that day.
Okay, a lot of midweek games when you jump to October. What kind of challenge is that for, you know, football players and coaches in general, just like the switch up of the game flow?
Yeah, it messes up your week of preparation. But for the kids especially, it's like they have school. I mean, they're in school, and so my vote is there's got to be there in those midweek games. The president has announced that there's potential for icy roads, and they're going to cancel class the next day and the day after school. So that will help some. But yes, that is going to be a major challenge in making that adjustment.
All right, when you look at that October schedule, what is the toughest team that the Flames will face during that stretch?
You know, you got to think it's Western Kentucky. I mean, that comes at the end of that stretch right there. And so the Western Kentucky team was a good team from last year. Historically, they're a very good team. So I think that's going to be the challenge. Can the Flames be healthy at that point? And will there be enough continuity amongst the staff to be able to call a good game? The kids play a great game for that.
All right, and then you got Old Dominion. Is there a chance that the Flames can make this championship game in the conference the first year that they play?
I mean, we're in the road to 12-0 right now. Playing for a conference championship. We got all these new coaches. You know, Slick Willie, Deep Ball Corn is going to be dialing them up, and then you got Cactus Jack Curtis on the defensive side with Skylar the Hammer McGee working together on the defense. So the big part of it is replacing a lot of these lost players that were on defense, especially. But you know, you look at a team like Georgia, lost 5 first-round players to the NFL. But hey, you just reload. You get the muzzle loader out, you shoot it, and then you pack that thing back down, and you reload it, and let's go. Let's run the table on this thing.
Need to replace a lot of players, a lot of new guys coming in. How important is it for spring ball this season? New coaching staff to get things ironed out.
Yeah, I mean, that's when they're going to find out what they got. You know, you have all these transfers that are coming. You got new kids that are coming in, and then you got new staff. So getting the continuity during spring ball through the fall camp. This might be a team that you got to survive some early games, and then it might take a little midseason time for them to hit their stride.
All right, Matt Warner, hand over the friendship bracelet. You heard it here first.
At Yawk Talk, baby.
I have to say I am a little bit jealous. All right, we turn to hoops now. The Liberty men lost on the road at Eastern Kentucky. The Flames' first loss in ASUN play. Their first chance to get rid of that losing taste came on Thursday night when North Alabama visited Lynchburg. The Lions had never beaten Liberty, and this wasn't the night that was going to change. In the first half, a three-point barrage from Darius McGee and Kyle Rode would set the tone. Liberty finished the night right at their season average with 12 threes. Their defense also stingy, allowing just 20 first-half points. But the real story on this night was the play of Shiloh Robinson. Off the bench, the senior turned in his best offensive performance as a Flame. A career-high 27 points on 11 of 13 shooting. He becomes the first player not named Darius McGee to score 27 or more since Caleb Holmesley did it almost 3 years ago. All that would contribute to a dominant Flames win. They take it by the final of 72-54, improving to 4-1 in ASUN play.
Like this stat sheet that we have, we just don't, it's not just about the TPs, it's about the little things that lead to winning. And I think Shiloh and a host of his teammates, they really pursue that with a vigor.
Shy impacts the game regardless if he scores 27 or whatever, but at the same time, like, we have the ultimate trust, and I think that's the beauty about our team is, like, it could be Shy one night and Darius can do what he does, and we got a bunch of guys that are just ready and able, and when you have a guy that has a game like this, you're so excited for him.
Shiloh stole the show on Thursday, but don't forget about Darius McGee. His assault on the record books continued. With his 4 threes on the night, he moves into 6th place on college basketball's all-time career three-point list. Only 5 players in the history of the game have more threes than Darius. Next up, Jordan Bohannon and J.J. Redick. McGee putting himself in some great company.
Let's keep talking hoops because it is January after all. A basketball season is a very long grind, so you never want to get too high when you're playing super connected or too low because there are lessons in losing. Flames Associate Head Coach Rob Jones joined us for the Flame Central podcast powered by Alcova Mortgage to talk about just that and how to make adjustments on the fly.
As a team, you play as to how you practice. You make the adjustments in what you do every single day, and you really commit to that. And so who we are offensively as a team is we're going to take what the defense gives us, and then we're going to try to exploit the weaknesses of the defense. So when you're not making perimeter shots, yeah, you do try to attack some weaknesses maybe in some different areas, but you're not going to stop shooting those perimeter shots completely. You know, you want the right shooters taking those shots and getting good looks. And again, I think if anyone would have said, you know, Darius had a really good look late in the game, and you know, exactly. It's like
100%.
if you ask that question at the beginning of the game and you just pause it when he catches the ball in watching the film, you know, and say, hey, is this a good shot? Everyone in the gym would say yes. And we really try to empower the guys in that.
Yep, I'm putting my money on Darius McGee all day, any day. Look, we covered it all on this podcast. The Flames' use of analytics, the story of how Jones and McKay linked up, my dog Stanley, of course. If you want to hear the entire conversation with Coach Jones, download and subscribe to the Flame Central podcast, powered by Alcova Mortgage today. Oh, hey, you can watch it on YouTube as well.
Yeah, I'm going to have to do that. I'll check that one out. Well, listen, being a Division I athlete is basically a full-time job. You lift early in the morning, you have film, you have practice, then there's travel and the games within the season. Oh yeah, on top of that, you're also taking classes, or should be, and trying to graduate with good grades. And yet somehow, in the middle of all of that, Liberty basketball player Blake Preston and volleyball player Amelia Johnson found time to find each other. And as if their schedules weren't full enough, they also managed to become married Division I athletes. This is their story.
A quiet dinner at home is a welcome break for married student athletes Blake and Amelia Preston. Blake defends the post for Liberty men's basketball, and Amelia killed it during her run with Flames volleyball. Although for this happy couple, it wasn't quite love at first sight.
I just kind of thought he was annoying. I wasn't a fan at all of Blake Preston, but he was friendly and I knew he was a good guy. It just, I didn't understand why he was teasing me so much.
But Blake was unshaken. He didn't reach Division I basketball without a bit of determination.
It was not a date. It was just a Friday night, and I decided to go. And that's when I really got to know him on a deeper level. And I was like, oh, he's actually pretty mature and strong in his faith.
But finding time for dating would prove challenging.
Dating's really hard. I think that's something we didn't necessarily anticipate, because when we kind of started dating, her season was over.
We definitely had to be creative in regards to time management. I think as an athlete, you're already so busy trying to juggle school and then practice schedules and training demands and stuff. And so when we're dating, sometimes we'd have to just like, all right, here's our homework date.
And it wouldn't be long before word got around the Flames community that they were a couple.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a freshman and I'm coming in dating an upperclassman, so I got lots of encouragement. They were impressed that I was out punting my coverage, both looks-wise and age-wise. When we started dating, it was like, hey, like, this is my person. We really became each other's safe place really quickly. Because of that, like, I think it propelled that thought and that comfort that you're always looking for in a spouse. Like, I want a person who's gonna make me feel like me and make me feel like I can be at my lowest and my highest, and is gonna love me regardless. It began conversations with my mentors of, hey, what does this look like? What does this mean? Is this okay? Can I get married in college?
When Blake came to my life, it was just so evident that he was different than other guys, and there was just no question that he was the man I wanted to spend my life with. And I think that's because I really kind of surrendered my dating life to the Lord and chose to wait on God's timing.
They would decide to marry while in college, and it would help knowing that they had such a supportive community around them.
A big part of my recruitment process was always, hey, like, I had a really stable home. My dad and I were super close, and I wanted another man to pour into me and in my life in a way that my dad had, but also in a different way, and like in a context of basketball. And that was evident in Coach. I had heard about him marrying guys previously, and it just stood out to me as I was here, as he helped propel my growth spiritually.
Blake and Amelia would take their vows in the summer of 2021.
The fact that they would make a commitment of that magnitude at such an early stage of their journey, I love that.
The Prestons have found their marriage journey to be a time of growth and an opportunity to pour into others, especially their teammates.
I definitely allow them to see every part of our marriage. Like, not even just, because we're not perfect, obviously, like, marriage is hard. And so I open up about that stuff with them too, and really just try to share my life with them. And whenever they do have board problems, I'm usually their go-to to encourage them or hopefully offer some wisdom and advice.
The only way I can truly love her the way that she needs to be loved is if I'm actually seeking Christ out in that. And like, marriage is a ministry, like it is. It's something where you're having to give of yourself constantly. And it teaches you how selfish you are. And I'm a very selfish person, and I did not think that before I got married.
Since being married, I've seen a softer Blake Preston. I've seen a more empathetic Blake Preston, and I'm just gonna guess, when he signed up for it, he didn't know that this was gonna be a little bit of a classroom.
It's caused me to really look at myself and be like, okay, like, I thought I was living for others, but am I? And it's not just in her context, it's in the context of my teammates.
Although Amelia's time competing for the Flames has come to an end, you can often find her at Liberty Arena, cheering on number 32. One day soon, they'll both move on from being student athletes, but Liberty's imprint on their lives will continue.
I think every relationship that I have built while here has had an impact on my marriage with Blake and my relationship with him, an impact that's positive and that leads me towards Christ, and you would not get that at any other school.
I think that our time at Liberty has definitely been defined in growth. Specifically, like in the basketball program, like Coach McKay does a great job really teaching like the players and my teammates and I, like, what does it mean to be a man of God, and what does it mean to love your wife well? What does it mean to do your job well? What does it mean to like serve others without expecting anything out of it? And I think that that has been the embodiment of my time here, is really breaking down self and like trying to give that away.
Such a sweet story.
Yeah.
Thanks to Jonah Jabor for putting that one together. You know, Matt, they're have such a connected marriage, and you can tell it's really strong, but I don't think they will ever agree on whether or not that was a date, that first dinner.
Listen, I'm on Team Blake here. The guy pays, it's a date. End of story.
Very true.
No, but hey, we say it time and time again whenever we interact with guys in the men's basketball program. You can see how mature they are. And let's just credit Coach Richie McKay and what he's done building that program and pouring into these guys, because it's no accident that you see the growth and maturity out of Blake Preston, having been in this program for 5 years.
And no accident that he's marrying all of his players.
Right.
I might have to give him a call, you know, April 21st. All right, the Lady Flames continued a Sun play with a contest against Jacksonville. Matt, you know that saying, coming in hot?
I've heard that, yes.
Yes, well, the Lady Flames took that to an entirely different level in this one. And also, this guy is coming in hot. Is that you, Matt Warner? Camera guy getting into the groove with the fist pumping. I like it. Okay, back to the game action. Liberty jumped out to a 25-4 run to start the game, and the Lady Flames never looked back, leading this one wire to wire. LU scored nearly half its points inside the paint, which means, guess who? Yes, Maya Berkman. She was doing some work in the paint. She finished with a game-high 16 points, along with 5 boards, but make way for Bella Smuda. What was Rhett's nickname? A Smuda Matata. She stuffed the stat sheet with 15 points, 8 rebounds, and 3 blocks, all season highs for her. And the Lady Flames dunk, drown, whatever you want to call it, the Dolphins, 81-66. But unfortunately, the Lady Flames would fall on the road at North Florida. Maya Berkman led LU with 13 points, but the Lady Ospreys hit 13 triples on the day. You mix that with 18 Liberty turnovers, not a good combo. Final score in this one, 68-58. All right, coming up, big expectations for Liberty tennis. We'll tell you where they are picked to finish the season.
And Rhett joins us to deliver a brand new Warm, Hot, and Fuego. That's all when Flame Central returns.
Welcome to Liberty University's online programs, where living out your calling with integrity is what you train to do. And getting ready for the future doesn't mean missing out on the now. Because a university is more than buildings and books. And an education should set you free, not fence you in. Welcome to Liberty's global campus, where distance learning was pioneered and evolved into one of the top-ranked schools in the nation. Where protecting your budget, your time, and your education isn't just a theory, it's our priority. Here, degrees in your field reflect industry demands and help you get ahead of the competition. Where college comes to you, but you can come to college too. Game day, homecoming, graduation day. Your school, your values, your experience, your choice. Welcome to Liberty University, where we train champions for Christ.
Calling for your specific. And at Liberty, we're committed to equipping you to pursue that calling. Choose from more than 300 residential programs of study, or design your own major through interdisciplinary studies, and be confident your major is the perfect fit. No matter how specific your calling, you'll find a program of study to match at Liberty University, and become your best as a champion for Christ.
welcome back to Flame Central. This is a familiar sight for the Liberty men's tennis team. The Flames are two-time defending ASUN Conference champions, and things don't look much different for them in 2023. Well, at least that's what they're projected to do in the preseason coaches poll. This is the second straight season the Flames have been slated to win the ASUN. Liberty has a strong spring schedule ahead, which starts against defending national champion Virginia on January 19th. And for the Lady Flames, they're projected to finish third in the conference. North Florida and Stetson taking those two top spots respectively. This marks the fifth straight season in which Liberty was selected to finish among the top three teams in the league. Both the men and the women will host their first ASUN match at home against Kennesaw State on March 17th. But for now, Coach Schwant, what's the theme for this season?
Hungry and humble. That's the two of our key words. And you know, we kind of, last year's over. And as an athlete, you always want to have a target and be on the attack. You know, you want to be thinking about, how do I constantly improve? So really, the root of that is why we do what we do. Okay, so that's a big theme for our opening team meeting for our whole season. We want to stay focused on why we do what we do and playing for something bigger than ourselves. You know, having the team and others in our mind before ourselves. So if we get that order and that priority down, we really believe we'll have a successful season.
Well, that's a program that's rolling right now. Best of luck to men's tennis. Hey, look who's here. Rhett McGibbon,
Hey.
America's favorite Canadian, joins us for Warm, Hot, and Fuego. Top player moment from the past week in Liberty Athletics. Rhett, do we have a theme this week?
Well, I have a couple things I want to get off my chest here really quick.
Here
You
we
know,
go.
earlier on, Emily's getting after you about the chemistry. They were wearing the same colors. You and I have been doing this for 8 years.
8 years.
Chemistry. That's
right.
chemistry right there. Okay, when it comes to a theme, it's National Marzipan Week.
I have no idea what that is.
It's like a confection you can make with sugar or honey. You throw some nuts in there, some almonds, you know me.
Tough following up our bragging on chemistry, and then you throw that one out there.
Yeah,
and
I don't
way
know.
out. Okay,
But hey,
Marzipan.
it tastes good.
I'll
Yeah.
look into
You
it.
should.
All right,
Yeah.
let's start with warm. Who's your warm athlete this week, Rhett?
It's Colin Porter. You know,
yeah.
when you bring in a kid, you have no idea exactly what's going to happen when you recruit a guy, right? Like, is he going to be able to handle the pressure? What poise will he show? Is he going to be ready right away? Colin Porter comes in early.
A year early?
Yeah, the kid is so young. The poise he has, he's like a veteran out there. He's just dishing things left and right. Against Eastern Kentucky, I know that's a tough loss, but still, kid almost played 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Like, he's out there, floor general in the making. Richie McKay and staff hit a home run with this guy and just love watching him play. Like, he has a little bit of an edge, too. You know, when he gets that swagger going, it's going to be a lot of fun to watch him over the next coming seasons as he leads this Flames team.
He is going to be really exciting as we look into the future. All right,
For
from
sure.
warm, who's your hot athlete this week?
All right, it's Bella Smuda, and I've been saying this year. How many teams have a 6'5" big coming off the bench?
She should start for a number of programs.
I know, exactly. So she's the secret weapon in my mind for Liberty basketball. She can come in, you're going against the bench players on the opposition typically because they're stacking up against Maya Berkman. You can come in and just let it rip. She had 7 of 13 from the floor, 8 rebounds, 3 blocks. She had mentioned it earlier. Smuda Matata means no worries.
right.
She was dropping that down on the Dolphins. And when she can just make hay while the sun shines, Liberty is in great shape. She did exactly that. The big thing, just keeping the ball high, not let people strip you. And she's got great footwork as well.
She does.
Nice touch mid-range when she wants to do that. And she showed that against the Dolphins.
When she kind of flips that switch and starts to take over, that team is completely different. All right, finally, in Fuego. Top honor this week. Who does it go to?
It's going to go Abby Shaw.
Oh, friend of the show.
Yeah, that's
Friend
right,
of the
exactly. She has been dominating in the backstroke as of late. Swept the 100 and the 200. Was in a couple of relays as well. The junior was the CCSA Swimmer of the Week. And this swimming program always just has dominance.
Yeah.
She's another one in line that has just been tearing it up. Yeah, look at her go.
Look
you
at
know
her
what I mean?
go.
Just flying, and great to see her doing well. And again, this is a program you expect big things out of. She's leading it when it comes to in the pool. The diving's been great as well, but Abby Shaw in Fuego this week, and rightfully so.
Little known fact for our viewing audience, many times Abby's actually the one running teleprompter here. We really are putting a lot of trust in her on a day-to-day basis. All right, Rhett, great job as always. We appreciate it. Hey, still much more to come here on Flame Central. Don't go anywhere.
So you're looking for a university that's perfect for you, a school that has anything you could possibly need.
Anything?
You want a place that has the programs you want to study, and maybe a few more, just in case you change your mind.
I think I'm going to sign up for the fashion design program.
All right. A place with state-of-the-art facilities. I mean, look at this campus.
And who doesn't love big-time sports?
And great recreational activities.
Okay, now we're on a roll. Somewhere you can hike, slide, strike, shoot, climb, eat, and most importantly, eat. You want a place that takes you to space? Okay, maybe not, but we can teach you how to fly, or pastor a church, or run a business. And all that with a great view? Yeah, I think I know a place.
We should go to the beach and just sit there and do LUA. No. My name is Chris Jordan.
My name is Jennifer.
One of the benefits of LUA when we were investigating it versus perhaps a private school or something is the cost and accessibility. You know, is if you have access to the internet, you can get right on and do this at any time.
I think too that, like we were talking about, the teachers being able to contact you and say like, hey, you're behind, or if you do need some extra help with this, and they're very willing to help you do whatever you can to get back on track. Not that it ever happened with our kids, but you know, most definitely happened.
You know, for our family, not only was the pandemic going on and the whole world shifting around, we moved in the middle of that, moved from one state to another state, but we didn't skip a beat when it came to the schooling. And so the flexibility of LUA was an exceptional option for us.
A college degree is more than a diploma. It's taking control of your future and finding that next step. At Liberty University, we not only care about your career, we also care about your calling. And we want to help you learn, develop, and grow so you can make an impact as a champion for Christ. Over 450 online programs, one you, infinite possibilities.
Hey, before we wrap things up, we are hiring. Yeah. If you want to join the Flames Central team and work with us, who wouldn't? Go ahead, reach out to us. We're looking for a videographer. If you're interested in telling the stories of Liberty Athletics, we would love to work with you. Go ahead and reach out.
Let's flood his emails. Also, if you haven't
spam me.
If you haven't downloaded and subscribed to the Flames Central podcast, we have some great guests coming up. For Matt, I'm Emily. We'll see you right back here next week.
See you.
Where you train is where you learn how to say, I know this. I've done this. I've got this. I'm ready. So you can surpass expectations when they say you're hired. At Liberty University, you'll train in world-class facilities as you prepare for a world-class career.